but no big deal. We're here to talk about the latest news in baseball, and we do have a surprise guest with us tonight, myself and Ryan Blank as always, but we're joined by Nakash Nath, dear friend of ours, and also with Ryan on Running the Bases in the hour before us on Blaze Radio. Nakash, how are you doing? And then Ryan, same goes to you.
Good. Thank you guys for having me. Ready to talk some baseball and get into things.
I'm just tired. I was out at Glendale this morning, came to Crockett News, then went out to Mesa. Now I'm here. So long day, but productive.
Ryan is still like the hamster that he's like the horse.
I'm always in the hamster wheel, always in the wheel, always moving.
Never stops.
He's never at home.
I am never home. I think I'm at Nakash's house more than I'm at my apartment.
Well,
it's really not a bad thing.
I was about to say, I can't remember the last time I saw you in my apartment, but that was this weekend. So, but I don't think I saw you at all the last weekend. Anyways, baseball, of course, the topic for our show tonight. And last week, we discussed the standings and who we thought was going to do well in that aspect.
Yeah.
So this week, we're going to talk more about awards, and then we'll give more of an update based on how the standings are. So, I mean, you kind of got to start with the MVP because those races have been so fun this year. NL.
Actually, Tom, I don't mean to cut you off, but I actually want to pose a question. This relates to the MVP, but we talked about this on Running the Bases. We agree that Judge should easily be AL MVP. What if Shohei was in the NL going against Paul Goldschmidt?
I think Shohei would win the NL MVP. I think fairly easily, to be completely honest. And I don't think Judge is easily the AL MVP either. I mean, what we've seen from Shohei Ohtani, we've seen once in baseball history before, and it was last year. So I think Judge is going to end up winning it, but I don't think it's easy.
Question.
Yeah.
He breaks Roger Maris's record.
Yes.
Gets a Triple Crown. Doesn't get it.
I think he does. But, I mean...
I think both are going to happen.
Obviously, Roger Maris isn't the only home run record. There's McGuire, who cheated, and there's Barry Bonds, who allegedly cheated.
We are a clean show here.
Well, I mean, Barry Bonds was never suspended by Major League Baseball for doing steroids, if we're going to be like...
That's why he should be in the Hall of Fame.
I agree. That's a whole other topic. But when you look at it, I don't think the beating Roger Maris's home run record is the deciding factor for who's the MVP. I don't care. I care about comparing the active seasons, and what Shohei Ohtani does at the plate and also on the mound is incredibly valuable. And what Aaron Judge is doing is really, I think, putting it and saying you have to have this kind of season if Ohtani is going to continue to do this. It's a really dangerous precedent, but I mean, if Ohtani wins MVP this year over Aaron Judge, the writers are basically saying if Shohei Ohtani does this, and in most years, if he does anything close to this, he's going to continue to win MVP.
That's another reason why I think he shouldn't win it, because we talked about the precedent that last year could have had, but he really deserved it more last year than he did this year, mainly because of what Judge has done, not just because Shohei, his hitting isn't as good as it was. First off, he's been elite on the mound, but this is credit to Judge in the incredible season that he's had.
Akash, what do you think?
I'm one of those guys that is more on the fence of there really shouldn't be a conversation this year for MVP. I think just what we've seen Judge do, and I think a lot of it also has to do with the time we're living in with the social media era. I think I'm not saying every Shohei supporter does this, but I'll take for instance, it happened in July. I'm pretty sure Shohei struck out 11, went 7 scoreless innings. The next night, hit a walk-off 3-run bomb. Fans the next 3-4 weeks on Twitter, that's their argument, the entire reason why he should win MVP. Obviously, that's not what I'm saying. That's not why I think. Yeah. That's not what I'm saying Shohei is. But to me, that's kind of the routine we followed it. We're kind of seeing over and over again. And I just think with what Judge has done this year, with the Triple Crown in play, with breaking the home run record, with the Yankees finally being relevant again, I think all those things just play so well into his play. And I'm not saying Shohei has had a down year hitting in any sort of way, but he hasn't been as good as he was last year.
Right.
And he's been by far a better pitcher this year. He's been easily top 5. He's going to finish top 5 in the Cy Young, but I don't know. To me, there's no question that Judge should win it, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's crazy because I think that it's much closer than you guys based on what you're saying, and I
Well,
also think it's
can I
much
give my side on this?
sure.
Yeah, here's what I said exactly, and what I've been saying for the past couple of weeks, ever since this topic really like came to the forefront. And here's the thing: I will never knock what Shohei Ohtani does. What he is doing is completely historical. And here's the thing: like Mike Trout, Shohei Ohtani will always have an argument to win the MVP. And I agree, he has an argument to win the MVP this year. But looking at it, Aaron Judge is about to do something historical. He's about to win a Triple Crown for the first time since Miguel Cabrera. That's my opinion. I'm not saying it's for sure going to happen.
So it's not that historically. I mean, obviously, the time between
And he's gonna break Maris's record as well.
Yes.
That was my other point. But here's the thing: looking at it, I want to look at both sides of who's more valuable to their team. In this case, this season, I think Aaron Judge is more important than Shohei, just because of where each team is at. I have to look at that way too. So here's the thing: I think that Shohei Ohtani is easily going to get second place in the award, as he should. He's always going to have an argument, and I see the argument for why some people think he should win it. But personally, I don't think it's the right argument because of what Aaron Judge has done, and he has been consistently good all year long.
Ryan and I were talking about it 30 minutes ago. Like, no one else is having an MVP caliber season besides the two that we've been talking about.
Yeah.
And obviously, like in any other year, Judge isn't hitting 311 with 50 bombs and leading the league in like RBIs. Like, this is a completely different conversation.
Yes.
100%. And Shohei is probably by far and by way the MVP, but
no argument.
You kind of take into account what Judge has done this year, and while it should be close, while Shohei should get first place votes, and while it should be that way, in my opinion, I would just vote Judge right off the bat. And I think we all agree that we would vote Judge. We're not saying that. I'm just saying. I'm just interested to see how close it really stacks up. Because
I think that's gonna be really interesting. Is how close it is. I agree.
Because that's gonna set the message for the next 10 or 15 years about how they really value what Shohei is doing.
Yeah.
And for me, it's just crazy because Ohtani is doing something that we've really never seen except for last year, and he's not going to win MVP.
Yeah.
For a guy to have a top 5 Cy Young season, which is a projection, and also be a valuable hitter, like not just a good hitter, a valuable hitter, and he's nowhere near the hitting echelon that Judge has been this year.
Yeah,
but I think that it's incredible.
Please don't have the words Judge as a 0 ERA come out of your mouth.
No, I mean, I'm not that stupid. But I think that if you're really looking at it, I think Ohtani MVP odds are really, really good because I don't know what the writers are going to think about comparing the two. And I certainly would say, hey, 150 to 1 odds. Or did I do that right? Maybe 15 to he's plus 1,500 on Ohtani. I mean, that's incredibly good value.
Yeah, it is.
Because you compare it to Nolan Arenado, who is the second best, and same with Freeman, who are the second best odds in the NL. Like, those two guys are nowhere close to Goldschmidt. But what Ohtani's doing is much closer to Judge than vice versa. But I would vote Judge, but I think it's really close. And I'm really glad that Aaron Judge is proving the doubters wrong. Like Ryan, I've been saying top 5 player for the past 3 seasons. All I did was get almost no one.
Hold on. If you're going to come at me, explain why I said he is not a top 5 player in the past.
You said it was because he wasn't healthy, but I said it doesn't matter. When he's healthy, he's going to ball, and that's exactly what we've seen.
All I said was that I need him to prove that he could stay healthy consistently, and he's done that. And I am on the train. He is not top 5. He's top 3. Okay?
So who's number 1?
Oh, Trout is still number 1.
Why is Mike Trout number 1 if he can't stay healthy? When was the last time he stayed healthy for 162 games? You see what I'm saying?
But here's the thing. Let's look at the track record. How many MVPs does Mike Trout have?
Right. Yeah, Mike Trout has more MVPs, but that's because Mike Trout is better.
Then why is he number 1?
But why did Mike Trout get the? Oh, it doesn't matter that he was healthy. He's still number 1. Mike Trout individually has put up better seasons than those guys, even when he wasn't healthy. That's why he won those MVPs. Aaron Judge just put those numbers up in short spurts, then get hurt, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's not that good," and it's like, or he's not a top 10
I
player. in
never
baseball.
said that he was not that good.
Yeah, you're right. I
I've
was wrong.
always said that he is top 5 and that not top 10, fringe top 5. I just need him to prove that he could stay healthy. Then I can put him there.
All
You
right.
know, I have put him at 6
I-
consistently.
I know
you
you
know
respect him, but it's just crazy that people.
I
And
just needed him to be consistently healthy, and he's proved that. And you know what? Trout in the past proved he can be consistently healthy. Not anymore, but still. What he has done since coming back, Mike Trout is the best player in baseball. We talked about this last week, Tom,
Good.
and we all agreed on this. Judge is top 3. Also, I would like to pose a question. Mr. Stern, where was my invite for the boat?
yeah, was my dad watching from the vote? From the boat?
Yeah, where's my invite? I'd like to be on the water, drinking a beer, having a good time. I am 21 years of age, just so everyone knows.
Thanks, Ryan.
Hey, I don't want to get flagged. I'm sorry. I just got to make sure, especially after Pat Fortuna's performance last week. We have to be careful. They've got a target on us.
Yes. Well, this is a different show, thankfully.
Yes. But we are on the dartboard, and they're trying to land on that bullseye of the 4-3 show.
Nakash, not sure if you heard the legend of Pat Fortuna on the 4-3 show last week.
I heard a little bit, but
yes, I can say this. I said, Pat, I'm surprised you still have your spot on the show. He's like, bro, I've been trying to get. He used the
effing fired.
Yes, he said effing fired. And then later on the show,
this was 30 seconds into the show.
I don't even think he was that far in. I think it was 15 seconds. And then later in the show, Parker was chewing ice, and Pat looks at him and says, Parker, if you don't stop chewing that effing ice, I'm gonna slap you.
We're like, all of us go, Pat, you can't do
and then
that.
Later on, he said, I'm just waiting for Gideon to storm through that door and slit my throat.
It was funny. When he said the F word, it wasn't funny. When he
that
said
was
that,
was on one last week.
Blaze Radio is going rogue.
In the prime time 7:00 hour.
It all started with Arizona State of the Union.
They go in safe harbor hours, so they're fine.
I know.
Yeah, us, we as Gideon has said, we are in prime time hours on the 4-3 show, and I don't think that is appropriate.
Prime time.
Yes.
Prime time.
So
talking about prime time, I think he's coming to ASU to be the next coach.
No, he's not.
I'm kidding.
No, he's
kidding.
We're not even.
We're getting Urban Meyer. And then him and I are going to have Fat Tuesdays together.
No, Urban's going to Nebraska.
No, Ian and Urban are going to Fat Tuesdays.
All right. If you guys go, I need that invite.
Hey,
I need
meet me. Hey, I'll meet
Actually,
you too.
we're going to Casa now.
Casa.
Me and Urban are just split a bucket.
Nakash, you went to Casa this weekend, right?
I did not.
Oh, you did not. Was the line too long?
Well, yeah, I got there too late. I got to Mel like 12.
Okay, never mind.
But everyone else went, and it looked really fun.
It did.
We should definitely go this weekend.
Potentially.
I
can't. I'm filming the ASU game on Saturday.
Let's go, Brooklyn.
Yes, my girlfriend's here in studio with us.
Brooklyn, say a few words. We love hearing your voice.
Hello. Sombrero
She
Show.
seems so hesitant.
I've never done this before.
There you go. Brooklyn on the radio.
Blaze Radio debut. Woo!
We're going off the cuff on this one, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes. Back to MVPs.
Yes.
So we all agree that it should be Judge. I say it's closer than you guys think it is. That's perfectly fine. But the player who has kind of made a resurgence despite finishing in 6th in MVP voting last year has been Paul Goldschmidt. His current 188 OPS plus. He's got 35 home runs.
Can we talk about his on-base percentage too?
Yeah, 411 OBP, which leads baseball, or the NL. 599 slug, which leads baseball. And his batting average, he's very close behind in that category. So he could also win the Triple Crown. I mean, how bomb?
I don't think he's going to catch Schwarber.
No.
No catching Schwabe. No catching Schwabe.
Oh, he's not even in the RBIs either. He's 6 behind Alonso.
But
and
is that updated from tonight, or is that not?
According to this, he's 118.
What website?
I want the MLB out.
Okay, then that's updated. Because he had a 3-run home run tonight.
Yeah.
Shout out the Mets. Beat the Brewers. 3-game.
No. Dom, I want the Padres to make it, but I want the Mets to lose.
I do too. So bad.
You don't understand what Nakash and I have been through the past 3 years.
I mean, I just saw him say that.
We are at the point of we just want the Mets to lose because of Michael Garaffa.
I seriously think the Braves are just better than the Mets.
I completely agree.
I think the Braves can go back to back, but
I mean, my ideal scenario for the Padres is Padres are the 6th seed, play the Cardinals, Mets win the NL East, play them, and then the Braves are obviously the 4 seed because they didn't win the division. They play the Dodgers and they duke it out for 5 games, and then the Padres play whoever wins
Would
that.
you rather play the Braves than the Mets?
I'd rather play the Mets.
Yep, that's
Dom, I'm going to be honest with
such
you.
a good answer.
Dom, I've been critical of the Padres in the past, as everyone has.
Okay, this
If
isn't
the
about
Padres and the Mets face off in the playoffs,
Oh
I
my
am
God.
gonna go. I'm gonna go crazy. I'm gonna be the biggest Padres fan on the universe. I will wear the chicken costume. I'll do anything.
You're not a bigger Padres fan than
Oh,
me,
trust
Ryan.
me.
I'm sorry.
Trust me. I will go completely insane. Every hit, every ball, everything, just to throw it in Garafa's face.
I would drive to your house and light up the lamp myself.
Me
I might have
too.
to break out the lamp for the postseason again.
Okay.
Need it.
I don't care how it happens. I want the Mets to lose.
Yeah.
I think that's mean.
No LGM here.
It's LFGSD.
Yes.
Shout out Jorge Alfaro.
The legend.
Alfaro.
He's such a legend.
Alfaro!
All right, back to the NL MVP race. We're just going on tangents tonight. That's okay. This is
That's
the
part of
Golden
the fun of
Sombrero
radio.
Show on Blaze Radio. Thank you all for tuning in on Blaze, and thank you all for tuning in on YouTube. If you're tuning in that way, it's our first episode back on YouTube. For some reason, my grandma's having trouble hearing, but my brother and dad are commenting in YouTube, so I think that's an issue on my grandma's part.
I think we need to get your brother on a StreamYard one of these days.
But then, like, the people in Blaze can't hear us, and like we'll have to. It's a mess.
Fine. Next time he's here, he's coming in for a show.
Okay, I'm not sure when he's gonna get back here, but
Oh no.
we'll see.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Well, then maybe you should hope for the Bills to make the Super Bowl, Ryan, and then you can come out for that.
Not sorry, no. I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl here in this state when the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes hoist another Super Bowl trophy. So yeah. Sorry. Not sorry.
We were talking about football on the show, or just baseball?
No, just baseball.
That's
So Paul Goldschmidt. I mean, I've always been an admirer of Paul Goldschmidt, mostly because I've watched him play from close in the NLS. Couldn't be more thankful he's out of the division, and he's been balling. He was the anchor in that lineup back in the 2020 shortened season after a down 2019. He was one of their better bats last year when that team really started to surge late. Like I mentioned, finished 6th MVP voting, and he's currently minus 3,000 to be the NL MVP this year.
Beautiful.
I mean, Paul Goldschmidt is probably a Hall of Famer at this point. I'm not sure a lot of people think about it like that. But what do you
Okay,
guys think?
let me ask a question. Did
Yeah.
he really need that this
Yes, he
this
did.
MVP to be a Hall of Famer?
100%.
Did he need it?
I don't think he needed it, but he's
I don't think
only
he needed it.
34. Like,
I don't think he needed it.
The Hall of Fame's not.
he only has 1,700 hits at the age 34. He
I
plays
think
first
aren't that
base.
impressive?
I mean, he's a career 296 hitter, a 145 OPS plus, and you gotta keep in mind he plays first, so all of his offensive numbers are notched down a little bit just by your position.
Hey,
What,
don't it be attacking first baseman?
dude? I played first base my sophomore and junior year in high school, not unwillingly, but that's where I played.
Oh, how could you not play that position?
Well, because I wanted to play other positions.
First base is awesome.
It's the easiest position on the field.
No,
It
it is not. Okay, explain something to me.
Yes.
When there is a rocket of a throw coming at you, taking a hop off the lip of the grass, you think that's easy?
I mean, I never said it's all easy. I just said it's the easiest position on the baseball field.
Right field.
Ryan, as someone who played all 9 positions competitively,
Right field.
no, I played
As
I
someone who
played 8
also-
of them in
As
high school.
someone who also played 7 of the positions,
I
I
played
would just
8
like
of
to
them
say-
in high
I
school.
would just
I
like
know
to
you
extend
didn't.
that comment.
I know you didn't.
I played 7 of them.
I don't believe that.
Oh wait. Oh, in high school?
Yeah, in high school,
6.
you played 6.
Yes.
You played center field or
No.
shortstop.
No, I 6. I did not play left, center, or short, or catcher. I couldn't catch anymore. Get rid of catcher. So
Alright,
5.
Okay.
I played first, second, third, pitcher, and right. That was an emergency situation.
Okay.
That was hey.
Okay. First base was the easiest position on the field for me, and it wasn't even close.
Sir,
Never had
I
to
will
think
not
about
take
it.
this
Warm me
slander.
up for-
You know what?
It's
You know
fun.
no, do you know what the easiest position in baseball is?
What?
Easiest Easily.
Bench.
Catcher.
See,
I'm joking.
Catcher.
I'm 100% joking, folks. As a former first baseman, I'll admit it.
And how
Easiest
does
position on the
Salvi do it
field.
so bad?
You know, he's not bad. He's just not good at one thing.
Who you talking about?
Salvi.
He's just not good at framing. That's the only thing.
Salvi's-
He
Salvi's
can
good.
block
Not-
nearly everything.
You-
He
you
throws
talking about-
out runners like nobody else besides Yachty.
Because they run on him, dude.
Me too.
And guess what? He throw them down and they're out. Okay.
All right.
You know what? They keep stealing, but
What's
guess
your
what?
issue- what's your issue with
They're,
Salvi?
they're unsuccessful. His whole thing is he's not a good framer. And you know what? He's not. I could frame better than Salvi. Okay. A lot of people could. He's not a good framer. That's okay. That's okay.
Is that the only thing we're knocking?
What else are you knocking, Mr. Stern?
He's very undisciplined.
Oh,
Okay.
He
Okay.
is-
At the plate, yes.
He strikes out a ton. He doesn't
Yes.
walk.
That's all.
He has
yes.
no speed.
Oh, come on. Very few catchers do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. But
Come on now.
he's not a guy that's going to leg out a double, like if it's hitting the gap, like and
Oh,
it doesn't get all
yeah,
the way
he
there.
will. He will
Not
like out a
really.
double.
No.
Yes, he will.
Home run merchant. Dude had like an 830 OPS last year with 48 home runs.
First off, sir, he would have over 30 this year if he did not get hurt
Okay.
multiple times. But
He did.
yes, okay, and
Part of
it's still
baseball.
depressing.
He's a
Okay,
catcher. It's
You know what?
fine.
Can we stop talking about my team? It depresses me. Okay, they're probably gonna lose 100 games again, and I can't take it.
I am right there with you, man.
Okay, he had an 860 OPS last year.
Okay, now
I'll give him some more.
Now,
credit.
let me just go back to my point. As a former first baseman, yes, it is the easiest position on the field, but it is still not easy. Okay.
Sure.
That's exactly what Dom said too. But you guys just argued about that for 5 minutes.
Yeah, and then
You know
and then
what?
Finally,
You know what?
came to my side.
This is how you treat me when I invite you on my show.
No, but that's
This is
literally
how
what Dom
you
just
treat
said.
me, sir.
I'm not
Sir.
treating you any.
He's being a participating part of the Golden Sombrero Show, and he's participating by realizing that you just said exactly what I said, but you argued it, and then you're like, no, you know, here's what I'm going to come to the conclusion of. You know what? First base is the easiest position, but I never said it was easy. Yeah, that's what I exactly said, Ryan, 5 minutes ago.
Do you know who has the hardest job in the world? Do you know who has the hardest job in the world, Dominic Stern?
Who's that?
A female sitting next to you. So she dates you. Is Brooklyn nodding her head in there? Because she should be. Brooklyn?
No, she's shaking her head.
Oh, yeah, that's a lie. That's a lie.
You see, like, it would have been one thing if you were like, oh, yeah, his mother or like his father, who are, I don't know if my mom's listening, but like that would have been one thing.
Oh, your parents are saints for putting
It's-
up with you.
Well, it wasn't their
Your parents
choice.
are
Like,
saints.
it's Brooklyn's choice. So clearly she likes me. Like
Well,
my parents could just
technically,
be
it was your
taken-
parents' choice to keep you.
All right.
All right. Okay. All right.
I'm just saying. Hey, the amount of times I was threatened as a kid that I'd be put up for adoption,
I-
like
That's,
What is Paul
that's
Goldschmidt
so
doing
cap.
last week?
Paul Goldschmidt hitting 322 on the season. That MVP race isn't close.
Do you want to look back at the trade that brought him to St. Louis, though?
It's been rough. Luke Weaver, Carson Kelly. I forget who else.
Are you talking about
Andrew
Royal
Young.
Luke Weaver?
Andrew Young.
Oh, my mom is listening. Hi, mom.
Yeah, Luke. Yeah.
She said she loves me. That's very cute. Love you too, mom. I don't think Ryan loves me though.
Tom, I love you.
Thanks, Ryan.
Just not as much as some other people.
Yes. Glad we're on the same page there. My mom also said she would have never given me away.
That's outstanding.
You know what? That is fantastic news.
I love you.
Because for
man.
a second, I really thought she considered it.
You were an untouchable.
No.
Too good of a prospect.
No, I actually heard. I honestly no. What I heard was they were just asking for too much.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they were asking for the farm.
They're asking for the
Yeah,
phone.
it's
I mean, look at the prospect. Look at the guy. He's got the flow.
a franchise player.
CLPB boy.
Yes.
Household name,
Not yet.
literally. Well, see.
Yeah, we'll see. Not yet. We'll see. Thanks. But yeah, I think Goldschmidt has kind of submitted his case to be an MVP
Yes.
or
easily.
a Hall of
Yeah.
Famer. Sorry.
Who's?
Uh,
Oh yes,
Valid
Hall of
right
Famer.
now.
Yeah, I'd put Goldschmidt in.
he has
Oh,
730
Hall of
home run
Fame?
seasons. 7.
7 of them.
That's pretty impressive.
Hall of Fame is.
I think he's a
is
Hall of Famer,
interesting.
dude.
7-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glover. I don't think it's going to be 5. I think that should go to Christian Walker. We'll talk about Gold
Yeah,
Gloves
sure.
later.
Ooh, I
he'll
love
be-
the Gold
He'll
Gloves.
get his 5th Silver Slugger, and he's going to add that elusive MVP, barring a total collapse or something. Totally.
Like, here's the thing. I think the MVP just puts the nail in the coffin or the cherry on top in a way. So,
I don't know, dude. I don't know if these are Hall of Fame numbers.
I
so
think they
but do you
are.
think he's a Hall of Famer with the MVP?
It adds a ton.
It
Yeah,
does. It adds a ton.
Because there's not a lot of players that obviously have an MVP.
But I mean, not that this number means anything, but that whole like 300 batting average means you're a Hall of Famer. He's batting 296
I'm not about
with
that.
a 528 career slug. That
Is that not Hall of
crazy.
Fame for you?
I think.
Okay.
Guys,
Actually, I want to pose a question though.
not hitting 500 home runs is something.
Yeah, but I mean, he's only 34, so he's
True.
got a way to go.
True.
But it's kind of something where if he had these numbers, let's see what they were leading up into this year. Let's pretend that he started to fall off of this age like Pujols kind of did. Pujols is Hall of Famer because he was much better than
Pujols
him.
Pujols is first ballot.
But
But
55.
He had a 142 career OPS plus, 293 batting average, 521 slugging entering this year. Those numbers have gone up, somewhat significantly. If he had a bad year and those numbers go down at age 34 and he starts trending downwards, it's a little bit of a different conversation. But I think that with this year, he's really stamping it that he's going to be a Hall of Famer. He is 34. He's a first baseman.
Yeah.
I think those things are holding him back based on what he hasn't accomplished. But, the Cardinals could also go on a postseason run, which is something that he's never done. He's never won a game in the NLDS, which is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
For all
May
that
I
he's
pose a
accomplished.
question?
That's not in the wild card game. He had a home run off Kershaw.
He did. He did indeed. So I'm going to throw something out there. Is Joey Votto a Hall of Famer?
I think
No.
so. Yeah.
At least he's consistent with it. I think he is, personally.
When Votto's got a career 412 OBP, which is absolutely nuts. But if you don't think Votto is a Hall of Famer, then if you don't think Goldschmidt's a Hall of Famer, then Votto, who has that MVP. But Votto has never won a Silver Slugger, which is crazy.
Crazy to think.
He didn't win the Silver Slugger, but he won the MVP.
Yeah.
That's a little
6-time All-Star,
jacked up.
1 Gold Glove. It's nothing, bro.
He's got 2,000 hits, 297 batting average, 412 OBP, an MVP. I think they're both Hall of Famers.
I agree, Dom. And
So-
folks, Dom and I don't
He's
agree on a
39.
lot of things.
Goldschmidt's not first ballot right now.
I wouldn't say he's first
Oh, I would say
ballot.
first ballot, but
Okay.
no.
Well, okay.
I don't think either of them are first ballot, but I think they're both Hall of Famers.
I'm willing to agree with that.
Okay.
They're gonna get in at some point. I'm willing. To
Okay.
do that.
That's all I'm
So-
saying.
I don't think they're first ballot.
Here's my thing. First
Ooh.
ballot. I'm gonna have you guess who this is.
Okay.
First
I'm in.
ballot Hall of Famer a couple of years ago. 276 batting average, 402 OBP, 147 OPS plus. And I just read off the numbers for Goldschmidt. I'm going to read them off again. These are, of course, career numbers.
Okay.
296 batting average, 391 OBP, 919 OPS, 1,700 hits, compared to the guy who's first ballot Hall of Famer had 2,300 hits. Who is that Hall of Famer? First ballot Hall of Famer a couple years ago.
Cheater.
No. Jeter is 3,000 hits.
That's right.
How many hits?
2,300. Plays the same position as Paul Goldschmidt. This guy was a first ballot Hall of Famer.
It wouldn't be. No, it's not Poppy because you said
No.
a couple years ago, plus better stats than that.
Yes.
Much. Trying to think. First baseman. Trying to think recently. Wow.
5-time All-Star,
Five-time All-Star. Okay.
one-time Silver Slugger. So that's one more than Joey Votto.
I'm
Never
sorry.
won a World Series, did play in one.
Good play.
Played in one.
He was top 5 MVP once. How on earth was this guy first ballot Hall of Famer?
I was gonna say, what do you like?
Oh wow.
Don't tell me you're cheating, Ryan.
No, I'm actually texting Madison Thomas, our dear friend. Would you like for me to show you?
No.
I honestly have no idea.
No, this is actually a really good question. I'm stumped. I can't remember that far back because my memory is doo-doo.
He's an analyst on MLB Network.
Analyst on MLB Network.
It is Jim Tomei. How on earth was Jim Tomei a first ballot Hall of
Okay,
Famer?
yep,
with those
yep.
numbers?
All right.
And if he was a first ballot Hall of Famer with those numbers,
It's true. That's fair.
Goldschmidt might be
Votto
and
and
Votto.
Goldschmidt should 100% be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
And they
I
should be
think-
considered for first ballot too.
To me, like as someone that watches like a lot of NBA, like NFL, like those Hall of Famers are like a joke to get into. To me, like baseball, like you have to be like
Right.
you have to be that guy for
Yeah.
so many years. And you could make obviously Goldschmidt and Votto have been, but like
Now the thing Tommy has going for him is he hit 612 career home runs. Like
So-
that.
Yeah, that's the
where he's
difference.
got it.
that might
But-
play part into it.
That might,
But
That
when you
might be the
consider the
reason.
other things for those two guys,
yeah,
they
they
have the consistency.
Tommy beaten everything else.
yeah.
So
I think they're both Hall of Famers.
Famers.
I agree,
Yeah,
Dom.
I think I didn't mean to say they weren't never gonna get it. I meant to say they weren't first
First
ballot.
ballot. Yeah.
I don't think they're first ballot. I think they do get in though.
So that'll conclude our MVP conversation. That took up 36 minutes. Wow.
Hey, we had fun.
Oh yeah, of course. There are some awards that are kind of runaways in the voting, but one of them is the AL Cy Young. This award is gonna come down to the wire between
Feed
Shane,
me
It's always
cease.
it's always a former Tiger.
Shane McClanahan, Dylan Cease, Sandy Alcantara. Those are kind of the three guys. Oh, sorry, not Justin Verlander. Sorry.
Verlander?
Oh, man.
Also, can we talk
Great
about something real
point
quick?
yes.
Just to harp on Graffa because it's one of our favorite things to do. He said Edwin Diaz was going to win the NL Cy Young over Sandy.
I literally jumped on
And then-
Ryan.
And then we both looked at him and said, SANDY. What does that spell?
He's a character in
Sandy. Oh, remember how legendary Sandy in SpongeBob was? That's the guy on the mound. Legendary and going to win a Cy Young this year.
I don't know what the heck that was.
Sorry, we got emotional last show because of his bias. And when he said Edwin Diaz was going to win Cy Young, I think both of us were ready to lose it. Mentally, I think we're off right now because of it. Also, in his list to why Mookie Betts is not top 10, that's a terrible list. Emmanuel Clase, Edwin Diaz.
Wait, you said Class A to win AL Cy Young?
No, he
No.
said Emmanuel Clase was better than Mookie Betts.
Yeah. Oof.
Okay, anyway, back to what were you saying, Noam?
AL Cy Young. Verlander, Cease, McClanahan. Who do you guys
Feed me
think?
Cease.
Verlander.
All
Feed
right.
me Cease.
See, I don't know. You look at Whip, Verlander leads there, and he leads McClanahan, and then Cease is below them. That's because Cease
Has more innings pitched. I'll give him
Innings-
that.
he walks a lot of guys.
Yeah.
Strikeouts per 9, Cease is third, tops of those guys. McClanahan's fourth, Verlander is seventh. Earned run average, Verlander leads there, 1.78, McClanahan 2.13, Dylan Cease 2.16. It's a really fascinating award race because they all have
They all have
different
Strengths.
right? Cease is the strikeout guy.
Yeah.
McClanahan is shortly behind him and has been kind of more consistent. McClanahan leads in hits per 9 in the AL. Verlander and Cease follow. It really kind of matters to what you value.
I will say, although we can't speculate, and can't assume anything, I would say Verlander would have 15 more strikeouts if he didn't get hurt for this past little stretch.
Sure.
And does that impact his case at all?
Well, I mean, he still qualifies for everything.
Yeah, I don't think it has a.
And finishing with a
Impact.
sub-2 ERA in this day and age is so unheard of.
Just wait till Cease doesn't give up a run the rest of the year.
Well, Cease isn't even. McClanahan has a better ERA than Cease does right now.
By 0.03,
I'm
2.16 to 2.13.
I'm just saying.
Now you're really getting down to the nitty gritty here, Nakash.
Well, both of them have 2 ERAs. Verlander has 1.7.
Feed me, Cease.
I mean, no, Cease had a chance to run away with the award when Verlander was out, and he ended up having 2 kind of subpar starts that
I agree.
left the door open for Verlander. And
Well,
Verlander came
subpar
back
to his
and-
standards, they were still quality starts.
They were so quality starts, but I think one of them was where he gave up 3 runs to the A's in the first 3 innings.
I'm pretty sure it was like the Rockies.
My fault.
But I know exactly what you're talking about. A subpar team that put up 3 runs against
It
them.
was
I get
one
it.
of those statement Cy Young games, and Cease kind of just didn't live up.
But also, I'm pretty sure it was in Colorado too. Let's factor that in a little bit.
So if you're doing a ballot today, who'd you vote for, Dom?
I would probably vote for Verlander. And Framber Valdez is also really putting in a case for that. He set the major league record in
Yeah, he
quality
did.
starts
Yeah.
consecutively.
25, right?
Yes,
That's what I
2.57 ERA versus WHIP, 1.11, which is really good.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I would vote Verlander. He's got the best odds right now, minus 400. Dylan Cease plus 340. So it's going to be a really close race. But I'm not sure. Cease
gonna
is
be
a
a close
higher
race.
WAR, which really, I don't know how much emphasis you want to put on WAR.
Everything.
So
Honestly, if you look at the numbers, Verlander deserves it. I just have an outside reason why I want Cease, and it's because our good friend Kayla O'Sullivan bet on him to win it, and I want her bet to hit because I care about people.
simp.
Sir, I'm sorry. I'd like to see my friend succeed. I'm sorry.
Right, but the
I'm
one
so
reason you come on the show and say, I think this guy is going to win, or I want this guy to win.
Okay, you want the real
is-
truth?
Yes.
Someone may or may not have
Okay.
thrown a little bit on him.
Well, I tell you what, if you want the really good value, McClanahan at plus 1,800
What?
with a 2.13 ERA, which is second in the AL, a .86 WHIP, which is second in the AL,
I don't think.
What if
And
Verlander gets
McClanahan,
rocked in
who
2
is
starts?
fourth in strikeouts per 9,
Let me check who's playing.
right behind Cease, and he's in front of Cease in both those other stats. I think that's better value than Cease. Cease is second. I think it's Verlander right now. Which
I
is
agree.
incredible.
It's Verlander.
I
that
forget-
guy-
who did I pick
that
for
guy
AL
is
this
like
year?
wine. Okay? Gets better with age. That's Verlander.
Oh, I said it was Gosman.
I
He's
said
he's been-
Barrios, bro.
No,
I
Berrios-
said Shane
Berrios will
Bieber.
let you down every single day of the
Yep.
week.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
Rough
for
day.
NL Cy Young, the guy that I said would win it is currently the favorite at minus 400. That is Sandy Alcantara, right-hander for the Miami Marlins, who has been a stud this year.
Proud of you.
Yes.
Thank you. I got something right on the show. Alcantara has made
Doesn't happen very often.
Thanks, Ryan. He's made all 30 starts this year for the Marlins, who have been absolutely awful, but it feels like every time he goes out there, they have a chance to win. And it's kind of crazy because he doesn't have the best stats. In fact, Urias has better stats than him in both ERA
Oh,
and WHIP. But
Hey, guys,
Alcantara, 212 innings compared to Urias, who's not even in the top 10
yeah.
in NL.
It's just-
he's not a volume pitcher, but he
Sandy's
goes out
been
there.
the workhorse.
Yes.
And you got to give him a ton of credit for it.
No, which is kind of crazy because he throws a 100-mile-an-hour frisbee paired up with a 93-mile-an-hour frisbee going the other way
Yeah.
and a 90-mile-an-hour changeup that just drops.
A
Like,
lot of self contact.
Yeah.
I'd love to see what his average exit velo is.
well, let's
Oh,
go up on our friend Baseball Savant.
It cannot be that high.
I
It
would
can't be.
say it's the average should be below 60.
I'll say below 75. Give it a little extra cushion there.
I'm looking at the percentiles for Sandy. I
Okay.
don't know the exact numbers. I can
Okay.
find them, but you look at Mr. Sandy, age 27, 6'5",
Mhm.
righty. He is 63rd in average exit velo, but 77th in expected slug, 70th in expected batting average, 80th in walk percentage, only 48th in K percentage, but he's 90th in chase rate. So he gets
There it
people to swing out of the zone and probably just hit like 80-mile-an-hour ground balls.
Yep.
Can you show Javier Baez's swing percentage?
Oh, do you want to know this? It's
Can you look up Salvi's next?
Yeah, sure.
I'll let you-
Javier
I'll let
Baez,
you know in a fame.
29-year-old, 6-foot shortstop. Chase rate, first percentile. Walk percentile, 9th. With percentage, wow, I can't speak tonight. Second. Strikeout percentage, 24th. That's actually better than I thought. Average exit velo for Javi is 31st. That's really bad because that's kind of where you should be thriving. Sprint speed, 65th. That's also lower than I expected.
Oh man.
He's been bad. Salvador Perez. Oh, I can't wait to read these numbers out to you, Ryan.
Okay, read them out. It's like I already know this. Yeah.
Okay, his average exit velo is 91st,
but
but his whiff percentage is 11th. So he swings and misses.
not as bad as Baez.
Chase rate, first percentile, so he's
Ah,
right there.
there it
with
is.
Baez.
There it is.
Walk percentile, second, so he's right there.
Yeah.
Strikeout percentage, 26. His expected batting average is in the 34th percentile.
Yeah.
It's bad. But his expected slugging percentage is in the 87th percentile.
Ha.
Yeah, I mean, he gets those home runs. Like, when he squares it up, he hits it harder than almost anyone in baseball.
And what's the issue with that?
He doesn't. He doesn't. He's 11th in whiff percentage.
You know what? You just seem like a hater because
He's 11th in whiff percentage.
Salvi is
and
better than
first
both catches to the
percentile
Padres.
in yeah, I would take Salvi over the two cat. You're comparing Ryan. I gave you the comparison. I'm not going to roast you like that on air again, but he's 35th percentile in pop time to second base, just proving to you that people just run on him.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
he
throws them out.
Percentile in framing. Well, he throws them out.
Here's the thing. We have known for years he's not a good framer. We know he chases. We know he doesn't walk. He strikes out a lot. I've known this, but you continually harping me on it is annoying. How would you feel if I consistently came up to you about once every week and said, how many World Series do the Padres have, huh?
Well, but that's just like a known fact. Like
and Padres, it's a known fact. Salvi strikes out a lot. He chases a lot. He's a terrible framer. We've known this. But
people and your people were trying to argue that he was the best catcher in baseball going into this year. And I said that's blasphemous, and we've seen exactly why he's not.
Who do you think is?
JT. I said it was Yasmani, and then it's JT.
Oh.
And Yasmani is not the best catcher. You know what? He completely fell off a cliff. The things he was doing well last year, he has not done well this year. Therefore, he is.
Also, your brother brings up a great point.
What's that?
Pop time is irrelevant. The only thing that matters is the pitcher time to the plate.
Yes, I agree. As someone who was really good at that.
So, why are you bringing up pop time, buddy?
Well, I mean, I'm just reading off the Baseball Savant page.
And here's the thing: you're telling me things that I already know.
This is outstanding.
You know what? How would I make you feel? How would it make you feel if I went up to you and said, "How many real playoff appearances do the Padres have in your life?"
They have 2.
Real.
2005, 2006.
Real that you remember. Real that you remember.
1, because I remember being there. That's the only thing I remember about it.
Dom?
Yes.
Do you remember?
I remember being there, yes. I remember being pulled from kindergarten.
That's so lit.
Being like, I'm going to the
I didn't even
playoffs.
get a cap. That's lit.
And I remember being there, but I couldn't tell you one thing about that game or one thing about that series that I physically remember from the time. All I know is the 83-win Cardinals won the World Series that year, and it started in Petco.
Yeah, they did win the World Series that year.
Seems like that happens for some teams.
Tough is a good word for that. Sorry.
He's mad.
I'm not mad. You're just
No. Gosh, he just punched his chair. A little frustration.
2006 was tough.
Oh, yeah, Tigers, right.
Yeah. Why else would be upset? Oh, shoot. The then Indians lost. Why else would you have that?
The then Indians lost. Nice ride. All right, we got 10 minutes. Let's talk about Rookie of the Year. In the NL, it's between two Braves. Michael Harris is the favorite, -135, but Spencer Strider's got even odds at plus 100. I mean, those two guys have kind of been the two that have really elevated the Braves from being that team that was 500 through 2 months and then now is in the thick of a division race. Who do you guys think it should be, Harris or Strider?
Harris.
This is so tough.
It's so close, though. It's like it's so tough, but I'm going to go Harris.
I would probably – I don't know, because my argument is that Strider means more to the Braves rotation than Harris does to that lineup. So from that standpoint, I would give it to Strider. Michael Harris having a better overall season. Probably he plays every day. He's hitting over 300 now. He's like, I think 18 home runs now. He has like 7 in that lineup. He's been absolutely a stud for them. But I think obviously Fried's their ace, but like Strider's been like ace worthy this year. Obviously set the record for most strikeouts in a game for their franchise. Like he's been dynamite. If I were to pick one right now, probably Harris, but
yeah, I agree.
You can't make a wrong decision, honestly.
It's basically.
You think it's Strider?
I think it should be Strider. Yeah,
it's basically.
I completely see the case because he's got more to that rotation than Harris has that lineup.
He's 200 strikeouts as a rookie.
Yeah,
who hasn't even started the entire year. Right.
Yeah.
No,
1.82 FIP.
You can't go wrong with this one. You can't. It's going to be a Brave, and it's such a tough decision.
0.8 strikeouts per 9. Are you kidding me?
They are so good.
They're chopping on.
Chop on, baby. ATL.
I get it because I've heard the conversations, but that's just mean. AO Rookie of the Year. Julio Rodriguez, -3,000. Adley Rutschman, plus 1,100. It's going
I'm
to be
sorry,
Julio.
but they're missing someone very important to me on that list.
Bobby Witt is plus 50,000.
Oh, I'm texting my friend saying put a nice little $5 on it and you're set.
Is Stephen Kwan have better odds? He definitely has better odds.
Yes.
Yeah,
Quan has plus 25,000. He's fourth.
It's J-Rod.
It's
J-Rod.
It's been him
100%.
since, like,
It's
three.
Bobby Witt is 0.5. Bewar sucks, but
You know what? It's okay. It's okay. Rough year.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, that's what happens when your team is just terrible.
So happens when you get injured and your rookies don't pan out.
yes. So that's kind of going to wrap up that discussion. Let's just take a quick look at the standings. We only have a
Well,
couple.
Tom,
What?
the Padres, they're moving up.
Yeah, they're in that fifth spot right now, which I'd rather them be the sixth, but I want them to make the playoffs first and foremost. So we're not going to be beggars. Beggars can't be choosers here.
Wait, I have a question.
Why?
Why did you give that reaction when I said Dom?
Yeah.
You were like, what?
I just didn't know where you were going.
I'm trying to hype your team up.
I don't need you to.
I'm
hype my
trying,
team.
I'm trying to hype you up.
I don't need you.
I guess I'm just not needed anymore.
I didn't say that.
I guess I'm just useless.
I just.
Gosh, I try to be a good person. What do I get?
I never
Shot
said
down.
you weren't being a good person. I just didn't know where you were going.
Man,
Tom, are you scared of the Phillies?
Scared of the Phillies?
Yeah.
What do you mean, like them passing the Padres?
No, just like in terms of your team, like they.
No. I mean, like scared in terms of I'd feel confident in the Padres facing them in a playoff series.
Yeah.
I would feel confident, yes. But those two teams wouldn't face off until the NLCS, and if that happened, that would be the craziest thing.
so you're
in the
not
world.
afraid of that offense?
I mean, that the Phillies are certainly capable of winning the World Series.
That's a really good offense.
It's a good offense.
They got a
have
solid
They have a
group of
solid.
pitchers in the rotation.
Yes.
Really good too.
They
Yeah.
remind me a lot of the Braves from last year, not from the
Honestly,
aspect of the
yeah,
team
that's
that
good.
was
That's a good comparison.
like they have the lineup, everyone knows that, and they have the starters who are like, all right, you can see it, and they have a bullpen that's capable.
Yeah.
They got Dominguez back, so they're getting healthy there at the right time. They've kind of solidified the closer role with Robertson. They have Alvarado. I would not want to face Alvarado in the postseason. So they have everything there, but I would feel confident going into a playoff series with them. I'd much rather face Wheeler, Nola than either Gibson or not Valdez, but the lefty Suarez. I'd want to face that rotation over the Mets, the Braves, and the Dodgers. And then the Cardinals, I mean, I think those rotations are fairly comparable. The Padres are going to face the Cardinals this week, so they're going to get a good look at that. You're going to get a comparison right there. But I'd feel confident against the Phillies, but I think they could absolutely do damage in the playoffs.
They're kind of that sleeper team for me, man, which is weird.
And
they're really good.
Come out of nowhere.
And Milwaukee's been playing better baseball of late,
It's true.
but they also don't have a deep playoff run in them.
Here's the thing: it's that offense. That offense is weak.
Boring, bro. Like
It's weak.
it's really weak.
Well, Yelich has been better since they moved him into the leadoff spot.
Yeah, but still.
Dobbins is like hitting like 220, but the power,
Okay, that's
the
crazy
power
that he's hit 30 homers.
The power's there. I'm
Yeah.
not training that.
It's just
Rowdy Tellez has been good power wise, but
there's just
They've
no
been hitting over
consistency.
280, I'd say.
Yeah, there's no consistency on that offense. So I wouldn't be afraid of them. Like pitching can only go so far.
As someone
And
that
their
got-
pitching isn't going to be able to carry them that
Exactly.
far.
That's what I'm saying.
They've allowed 645 runs this year, which
Burns,
is
Burns has not been that good.
God, the Dodgers have only allowed 456 runs. Oh my God, they're so good. Plus 329 run
Do you know
differential.
who's better?
Absurd. Who's better than the Dodgers?
Oh, I was about to say, I thought you said the Padres.
Oh
My bad.
no.
Yeah, the Dodgers have a plus 329 run differential.
Yeah.
If they don't get it done this year, I don't think they're ever getting it done.
I
They're
don't
getting
think
it
so. I
done,
don't think
but-
they're getting done this year.
Who do you think's gonna do it?
I think the Braves. I still think the Braves are.
Oh, I swear if you were gonna say the Mets, I would have walked out of here.
I mean, they were 500 on June 1st.
They're ridiculous.
They're now 92 and 55.
Can we talk about their ability to just lock up all their young talent for
They're
cheap?
good. They're good since 2028.
Yeah, they're so good. Gosh,
They,
it's
they-
ridiculous.
they can not do anything this year.
Oh, there's something brewing. I don't know.
I think it's a rematch in the NLCS this year.
I think-
Seriously, I think it's Braves Dodgers.
I hope you're wrong.
Oh, would you rather it be Padres Dodgers?
Well, I mean, if the
No,
Mets,
you would-
I mean, Ryan,
You like that?
Would I rather it be Padres Dodgers in the NLCS? Yes, of course, because that would mean the Padres are in
You
the
know,
NLCS.
there's something called a rhetorical question,
Okay.
and
all
that's when you say something like, "Is the Pope Catholic?"
Oh.
Or something like that. Something that everybody knows is a fact. You see, and then you just drop the ball.
All right, Ryan.
So, congratulations.
Sorry, I don't think like you.
Wait, really? I didn't know that.
I didn't even until now.
Can he be on the show more often? I love having Nick.
Sure.
That's you guys.
Yeah, no. It was funny because I'm not sure why I thought that he said, "Can Michael be on the show?" And I'm like, "Yeah, sure, like fine."
No,
And then,
no,
and then,
no,
and then
no.
Michael was walking out. I'm like, "Wait, I thought he was gonna be on the show." And then Brooklyn's like, "No, it's Nakash." I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool."
No, absolutely not. I would rather cancel the show. I'd rather get rid of the show than have
Wow,
Garaffa on
that-
it.
He's our friend, Ryan.
I'm sorry, I can't deal with the bias anymore. It's it's just
I don't
this
think
may seem
Edwin.
as a dig at some people, but it's only mainly at Garaffa. Just some people do things for so long and just do things that just get under your skin and frustrate you, and you just get to that breaking point. I'm at that breaking point with Garaffa.
I don't think Edwin Diaz NL Cy Young is as bad of a take as you guys think it
You
is.
know,
Pretty bad.
it's not good.
that bad. It's not going to happen, but I don't think it's as bad as you guys
Then
think.
why does he say it? Then why
Well,
is
because
he-
he's abhorrently
If
biased.
you know he's not gonna
Yes.
happen, then don't even like.
Anyway, it's a much better take than him saying he's better than Mookie Betts.
Yeah. Well,
You know
both
what?
there's-
He also has said multiple times that oh God. Oh no, that was Spencer that said Mookie Betts isn't a top 10 outfielder. Which is that's just a take wanting to be different.
Some people in Cronkite really don't appreciate Mookie Betts.
And you know what? It's ridiculous.
I don't know.
It's ridiculous.
All right, we got to wrap this
Crazy.
up. Ryan, thank you as always for being here.
I
late
love
on
this
Monday
show.
night. Nakash, thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you guys for having me.
Thank you all for listening on either Blaze Radio Online or on YouTube to the Golden Sombrero Show. Will be live next Monday at 9 o'clock. Thank you all for tuning in. Enjoy the rest of your Monday night.
Appreciate you all.
Such an abrupt finish.
Well, gotta get out.
Still 3 more minutes.
Yeah, we have to be out so that they can get in.